Yeah, I'ma kill you in a second if I have to. Use my mind as a weapon when I blast through. Put the basics in the base.
Right, Nate, just me and you flying the ship today, mate. Episode 10 of the PT Performance Podcast.
Double digits.
Double digits, baby. Good job.
Today's Richo must be pregnant or something. I don't know where he is.
Richo.
He's pulling out morning sickness.
He's going to miss out on an epic show because today we're going to be talking about, we're going to drift off the regular format a little bit, and instead of the regular sort of tone we're taking to something a bit harsher today. We're talking about the common sense or perhaps the lack of it on the gym floor around other personal trainers. So let's kick off episode 10 and let's have a bit of a chat about the do's and don'ts, the common sense aspect.
Yeah, I mean, well, the whole reason why this one came back up is because we're already starting to put out some stuff that a few people are putting into action. I mean, we're only 10 episodes deep. We haven't got thousands of listeners, but a few people are getting some quality out of it and getting some decent results, which is nice.
Yep.
But on the opposite hand, there are a fair few people that we know personally. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a little bit of sickness. There are a few people that we still know personally. They're putting some certain stuff to action, but it's not going to matter how much they put to action because they aren't getting some really basic common sense things / life skills / your mother taught you this when you were 4, you fucking idiot. They're not getting that right. So ultimately it's going to lead to nowhere. So we've got to strip it back once more. And I don't know what the title for this was going to be, but it's something like common sense. It ain't that common. Like the stuff we're going to cover, you're going to listen to and be like, oh, I get that already. Why am I listening to this? Well, you're listening to it because most of you people just don't do any of this stuff. I don't understand. This is just... What's the first topic we've got? Because there's so much.
Mate, well, let's there's a bunch of things. So obviously, we're going to talk about first and foremost is your personal presentation. Let's start there.
Okay, so like your personal presentation, not only while you are in uniform, but also out of uniform. Maybe either training yourself, or perhaps just meandering around the gym. Let's just leave it at the gym, right?
Mate, walking into the gym and walking out of the gym before you even start your sessions for the day.
Yeah, like, so let's start with this. Let's start with the not being in uniform. I'd like to start with the training side of more casual clothes.
Sure.
I would firstly like to say, I do not believe that you have to have the most expensive training clothes, that you have to dress a certain way to be really professional in this area. I think you can do whatever you want here pretty much and fall within a pretty safe guideline outside of a few things. I mean, I train in oversized Kmart shirts. Like, it makes me more comfortable. What you can't do is you can't wear clothes with vulgar signs that would be off-putting to potential clients and members.
Agreed.
There are some bodybuilding shirts going around at the moment that have the words "leave me alone" on the back of them. If you work in the fucking gym and you have a "leave me alone" t-shirt on, you deserve to be broke.
Yep.
Like you're an asshole.
Yeah.
What do you mean, leave me alone?
Like, I mean, I have a big enough problem with a non-PT wearing that in a commercial gym. You're like, well, fuck off and go find a cave somewhere. But if you're a fitness professional,
like you're not hardcore.
Yeah.
You're a hard knock idiot. Like, no one's, I haven't got any business. And I wonder why. You literally got it written on your back that you don't want it.
Yep.
Like, everyone has their own different style of training. And I'm not going to knock any of that stuff, but you've got to kind of be approachable at all times. That doesn't mean you have to like be in a really hard set of squats with a massive smile on your face. It just means that, you probably can't walk around and like shove past someone and be like the gym staunch and the gym asshole and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You've kind of got to still be on the lookout and like say hi and say sorry if you're in the way and, just be a general good person.
Professional.
Yeah. Especially since you work there and it's where you run your business. Like, it just makes the most amount of sense. Tying that over then into your work kit, whatever this may be. For some people, it's just a straight up shirt. For some people, it's a collared shirt. I think, Mooney, yours and I, we've got collared shirts, right? You got collared?
Yeah, we got collared.
Like you got collared shirts.
Yeah, they're a jersey now. Yeah, but yeah. So
yes.
A collar, yeah.
Something along whatever it be. If your shirt has a collar, do the buttons up. maybe not all the way up, but maybe you don't look like you just threw her on the back of the car while you're fucking trying to drink a coffee and text someone at the same time.
Yep.
Like, don't pop your collar like Fonzie. It's not 1960, you dickhead. It's all of this stuff is really straightforward. Perception is everything.
Yep.
Like, it's actually everything. And then we're in a world where, oh, don't judge me for the way I look and who I am, and you don't know me. Shut up, mate. Look, you're in a gym. You're in the most stereotypical, superficial.
Under the spotlight all the time.
You are, yeah. You're in everything about the gym is about
And
the
you
body. I
fucking
get
love
it's about the mind and everything else like that. But if you work there, you are being looked at for how you look. Period.
Yep.
Like, period. I don't care if you got neck tattoos. I don't care if you got fucking pink mohawk. You are being looked at for how you are there, period.
Yep.
You have to put an effort into the way you look at all times. I'm not saying you got to wear a 3-piece suit. I'm just saying maybe it's a good idea to have a shower.
Have a look at yourself in the mirror. You're in a gym. There's fucking mirrors everywhere. Have a look at yourself first and go, would I approach me? Would I do business with me? You know, would I ask me a question at least? And half the time, it's, like you said, I've seen it. You've seen it. People look like they've literally crawled out of their car. They crashed in the back seat overnight, got their coffee in their hand. They're looking like a mess, and they walk into the gym ready to go.
Yeah, like, wash your shirts.
Yep.
Most PTs don't have more than 2 shirts. I have 1 personal training shirt, so I have to wash it multiple times per week. These are the cards that we're dealt with, ladies and gentlemen. Wash your shirts.
Yep.
It's not hard. Wear an undershirt if you have to. Keep deodorant in your locker. Make sure your breath doesn't smell. Like,
personal hygiene.
My hair's always super shit. It doesn't really matter if I brush it or not. It's always terrible. Make some kind of effort. If you have hair, if you're richo, your job's pretty easy. You're bald as hell. Like, he's not here to defend himself. I'm gonna have to. Like,
it's our first comment for this episode.
Yeah, like, it's just staggering the amount of people that don't put an effort into the way that they look. Like, and there's no one correct way to look. It's just, when someone's put some effort in or when someone's just not even trying.
Yep. And, we're face to face with people. So, yeah, your personal hygiene you touched on before. Brush your fucking teeth. You're there all day. You're probably eating broccoli and fish. Worst case, have some gum. But I'd be saying leave a toiletry kit at the gym. Keep yourself fresh.
Like, most of us have lockers and stuff. Leave something small there if you have to.
Yep.
Like towels. Like, it's not hard to put in some small amount of effort to this. I don't need you prim and proper, but I do need you somewhat proper.
Like, and this is the thing. Like we said from the start, we're going to be saying some things here that everyone's going to be saying, yeah, no shit. But think back, and there's probably someone in your gym or in a gym you've been at that is the person we're talking about, male or female. And if you can't think who it is, it could be you. Seriously. Keep in mind also, if you're the person that isn't, taking care of business with this regard, you're probably having a negative impact on the other PTs in there too.
Look, if you're not taking, I can guarantee if you're not taking care of business with your personal appearance, this is not the only area of your life that is lacking.
Correct.
Like I don't need you to be perfect in every single area, but I know if you can't even put effort into to look a certain way for the clients that you train who pay you good money, like, you're definitely letting it down everywhere else when you don't have to get paid for it.
100%. And we've touched on this before. When done right, you're a personal trainer in a commercial gym setting is earning an hourly rate that is usually reserved for people that do dress quite smartly, that actually put an effort into their outfits, So just because of the environment is laid back, fitness related, sporting, there's nothing saying you shouldn't be taking as much pride in your appearance as insert other high paid profession here.
If this is your career, act like it.
Yep.
If this is your feeder job, act like it. Because the habits you put into with this job right now, you're going to carry through to your next one. And I guarantee the next one may not be so forgiving, especially if you work for somebody else.
Or if you keep this kind of, if this is how you operate, your business won't last long, which means you will be looking for something else. And it'll probably be back where you came from in the first place, if you're fortunate.
You want the blanket hard truth. If I'm looking for a trainer, I do not want a trainer that looks like shit, I do not want a trainer that dresses like shit. I do not want a trainer that smells like shit.
100%.
Like,
So let's talk.
I want none of those things if I'm picking someone to give cash to. I want someone who's knowledgeable to get my goals, that is probably a good human and doesn't look like they slept in a bin.
Funny that is something that we're chuckling about and we've decided to dedicate an episode to. But it obviously happens enough that we've witnessed over the last X amount of years that we decided we'd bring this up today. Okay. What about, so that's personal hygiene and personal appearance. Let's talk conduct. Okay, we'll go the same format. Conduct in uniform and conduct while working out and or out of a uniform.
Well, the T-shirt applies again. Leave me alone. If you want me to leave you alone at all times, go and train at another gym.
Yep.
If you are working out in your gym, I know you are training. To somewhat extent, though, you're on call.
Yes.
Which means that if someone needs a hand, you can offer it. If someone has a question, you can probably answer it. Like it comes with the responsibility of what you do for your job and working where you work and training where you work, that you're inevitably going to get questions because people know you work there. You can't go, no, go ask somebody else. I got a good story. Let me tell this.
Sure.
Fitness First in Lutwyche in Brisbane, still the last Fitness First left in Queensland. This was years and years and years ago. A friend of mine started working there, was talking to one of the other trainers on the gym floor. Bigger bodybuilder type dude. I hate how they're always bodybuilders, gives them a bad name. Stand there talking to him. This guy walks over to them and goes, hey, do you mind if you spot me on the bench? This trainer's response, not my mate, the guy he was talking to, this trainer's response, do you have $80? Oh, no, I don't have $80. Well, that's what it costs for me to have a session with me, and then I'll spot you. Until then, sorry. That was his actual response. Rather than, yeah, mate, I'll make sure you don't die.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yep.
I don't know who that person is. I'm not making this up. The story was a long time ago, but fuck me. If that was you, stab yourself in the eye. If you've done that, fuck off. Like, seriously, how bad?
Dude, yeah, I mean, wrong. That person's in the wrong industry. They're in the wrong profession, and well, probably were. I'd be super surprised if someone who had that kind of tone or attitude, even no matter when it was, is actually still even in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're not in any game. Like, that attitude doesn't fly anywhere. Like, I don't understand why you think you can take such a slack attitude to being a PT and stuff, but, when you get a real job, I'll smarten up.
Yeah.
You're talking about, mate, I make 3 times as much money as most of you.
Yep.
And I treat this like it is my real job, because it is.
Because it is.
Like you rely on this, I rely on this, Richard relies on this. Like, this paid for my wedding, it pays for my week to week, it pays for it pays for stuff for my wife, it pays for stuff for my dog, it pays for stuff for me. Like, this is not play money. This is life. This is what I do as a job.
Yeah. And that's the big difference between, I guess, the motivation between a large percentage of the people that are in the industry now. Why did they get into this, which we've covered in other ones, and how they perceive it? Like, are they looking at this? Oh, this would be kind of fun. We could go hang out in the gym and earn some money and train people because I'm really passionate and I look good in a photo. Versus, hey man, I've got a passion. I'm driven by this. I want to make some difference in people's worlds.
There's no problem with either thought process, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think if you like it's fun, I want to hang out in the gym and earn some good cash while doing it. The thought process of I don't have to treat this seriously because there's not a real job still exists. Yeah. I don't understand how when you can earn what we can earn per hour and do what we do for work, how it's not a real job because I don't wear a suit. Like,
oh, for sure.
2018. I know people making lots of money from their laptop in their birthday suit.
Do they hang out at Starbucks?
No, at home. One time. Like, this is a viable career option for many people.
Yeah.
If you want to treat it seriously enough. Like it baffles me that people still wonder why things don't go their way, but when you look at the basic things they're doing, they're not even treating it like they care.
And like you said at the open, the practical steps that we're teaching, the stuff that we're sharing, really won't mean shit if you don't get this stuff right.
Well, it doesn't really, it doesn't mean much. Like, you can't really operate a system. You can't shoot a cannon out of a canoe, as they say. Like, there's no point operating systems when you're probably thinking or in your head you're not going to be doing it for long enough in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe just stop.
Let's talk about this is a pet hate of mine. You got a personal trainer who trains their sessions. When they get onto the gym floor themselves, they've completely forgotten about basic gym etiquette, like using a towel, putting their weights away, being courteous of the people around them.
Look, I think everyone's done it at some point, and I think you'll probably end up doing it again. I don't think there's anything wrong with making mistakes.
Of course.
I think there is definitely something wrong. I work here, so therefore this is my gym. Therefore, I'm going to use all of this, and you can just fucking wait because I'm here 50 hours a week, and you're here too. So, like, there's no real hierarchy there. Like I said, if you're training on your gym floor, you should be expecting questions. You should expect to still be some kind of example. I don't mean you have to dress a certain way or you have to act a certain way other than who you are, but a certain amount of courtesy and a certain amount of leading by example has to occur. But if you only clean your gym when there's people around who can give you praise, wrong attitude.
Yep.
If you only put your weights away to set the example when someone's around, wrong attitude. I'm like, what else really has to be said here? How many of you as trainers now are putting in any effort to actually clean or tidy your weights floor?
Mate, I don't get question. I actually was in a conversation on that topic on one of these PT groups that I'm in, and I was astonished is not the right word because I come to expect this, but the amount of people that are saying, "No, I pay rent. I'm not putting shit away. I pay rent.
Good.
I don't have to clean up."
Good. That's good. I'd be putting all my effort into building my business too when you can't even cover your rent. Yeah. Because that's your attitude. And the people who can't cover rent, that's their attitude.
100%. Yeah. And someone else
make a couple of $100 and you're wondering why, putting things away is beneath you. Something that was really, really powerful a few years ago. Do you know who Tony Doherty is?
Oh yeah, Doherty's gyms from Victoria.
Tony Doherty basically started like a lot of the fitness promotion shows, started FitX in Melbourne, which has now become Arnold Classic. Back when FitX first started, there was, I think it was the end of the day in one of the halls, a lot of the people had filed out, and here you have Tony in his three-piece suit walking around, actually picking up rubbish and putting it in a bag.
Yep.
No one else is doing it. It's just him.
And that's why
like him doing it, about another 50 people came in and started helping.
Yep.
Like, you're talking to a guy who multi-millionaire, very, very successful, could easily pay people to do that stuff, will still get his hands dirty, will still clean toilets at his gyms.
Yep. Because that's ownership.
If he is doing, I get that he owns the gyms, right? But he's not there all the time. But if he is doing that because he wants to create a good experience and no job is beneath him, I don't know how you can justify, because you pay $250 rent, it gives you the right not to keep your environment tidy, and that it is someone else's responsibility.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
If you think it is someone else's responsibility to make you successful, you have a very, very rude awakening coming at some point in your life. I call it a come to Jesus moment. I'm not religious. It just sounds really fucking cool. That at some point, shit is going to hit the fan for you, and there is going to be no one to pick it up, because no one should be there to pick it up for you.
Yep.
Because you're an adult now. You run your own business. You got your big boy panties on, your big girl panties on, and you want to be the boss. This is what part of being the boss is. Yep. Doing some stuff that you don't want to do, setting the example, and living it this way over and over. Even if it's just 5 minutes before your first session's there, or if your next session's not there yet and they're running late, put some shit away. For God's sake, take some pride in where you work.
100%. And like, I had this I chipped in this in the conversation, the amount of trainers that I've been around, and myself as well, that have actually picked up business during those times of, I'll quickly do a lap of the gym and put some things away, or I'm always the guy that's doing things, and people notice that. The amount of times that's been a lead generator.
It is. I can't say it's been a good lead generator for me. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't do it every day.
Mm.
Like, sometimes I'm not going to get up and get in there early just to clean it, just sort of messy 5 minutes later. I fucking get it. Like, people are pigs. I get the fact that the gym is always untidy and it's not solely your responsibility to keep it tidy.
Yeah.
But for the love of God, if your thought process is someone else will do it,
it's going to flow down your life as well.
yeah, God, it probably already is.
Yeah. I mean, it's, at the end of the day, if you step over, what's the line? It's what you're willing to walk past is the standard you're willing to accept, right? So if you can't put something away, but you're literally stepping over it, then you pretty much
stepping over, stepping around. Like, I walk into what we call our functional area. I hate that fucking word. We fall into like basically our free space in the gym, in one of the back corners. The plyo boxes are everywhere. The sled's out. The ropes are out. Like, shit's just haymaker. It always happens at night. It's always the people who train at like 1 a.m. If you're a person who trains at 1:30 in the morning, fuck you. Put your stuff away.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll come in, and it only takes 5 minutes to move the stuff around to open it all back up. But I know for a fact that if I'm not doing it, no one else is.
Yep.
And I'm not doing it because I expect a thank you, because I'm going to bring it up in an argument like a bitter married couple later down the track. I haven't forgotten about it 6 months later.
Dude, you do it because it helps you do your job. It helps you run your business.
You use that space in half an hour. I don't want all that shit in the way.
Yep.
I'll be able to get in, get my stuff done, and go. I'd like other people to walk in there and go, oh, this place looks tidy today. Not ask who fucking did it to give me a pat on the back, just to go, oh, this is tidy in here. This is good. And they feel good about where they are.
And let's look at it from a global point as well. We're talking about predominantly the personal trainer in a commercial gym setting, right? If you as the personal trainer is doing your micro part to make sure that the place is clean and tidy amongst the rest of your day, when the prospective member walks in and they see the place is looking pretty sharp while still buzzing and still people getting around, and they think, hey, this is the difference between me joining another gym. Isn't that worth your time that someone else is going to jump on board?
Isn't it funny? The same people that are telling me it's not their responsibility to clean stuff up are the same people who are saying, ooh, I can't wait to open my own studio one day. You losers have no shot.
Yep.
And that's so rude for me to say. You're probably nice people, but you have no fucking chance in hell of making it if you are worried about, I paid $250 a week rent, therefore you should clean it up.
What do you call it before? Come to
you're about to pay you're about to pay $2,000 a week in lease. Have you expect some magic tooth fairy to come and clean your shit up for you? Nope.
And I guarantee you, there's going to be days where not only are you the guy or girl with the toilet brush scrubbing some shit-stained bowl, you also probably just put your hand on a pistol-soaked toilet seat. Guarantee it's coming. You know, and you're worried about
it's coming for a while, because most gyms do not do well in the beginning.
Yep.
Like most small studio startups, no, not at all.
Yeah. Or you're going to go pay for a cleaner because you don't want to do it, and there goes half or any kind of a revenue you're generating. It won't last long anyway.
Short story. I'm a businessman, right? You're not going to see me at the front of a company with like 100 people behind me with me leading and setting an example. But I've got enough common sense to know that if that's your attitude now, fucking just go push trolleys, babe.
Yep.
Just go.
Yep. Go work somewhere where you got very low expectations and
just make it easy on us. Just get out of the way.
It's kind of like the natural selection of the fitness industry, though, right?
Oh, it's coming. It'll come, and if you think us talking about this stuff is funny, you might be tuning into it for a laugh. This is happening every day. It's 2018, and this would be the reason why some people's businesses just are done.
I would love to get some stats. I would love to get some stats on certificate 4s that are handed out, and how many of those people are still in business 12 months later, and how many of those.
I don't think you'd find it, but I would say it's got to be less than 30%.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think there is anyone keeping that kind of stat. That's what would be. It would
most, mate. No, there's no way. There's no way a RTO provider is going to want those stats to get out.
Oh, 100%.
What a bad advertisement. 3 out of 10 graduates actually keep a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So common sense, personal presentation, conduct. in and out of uniform, when people are watching, when no one's watching. Here's the next one. Let's move it from the gym floor. Well, technically it's usually still on the gym floor, but let's move it from there to social media. Let's talk about.
You start this one. You start it with the way you think this should go, because then I'll follow your lead.
Okay. Let's go. Fuck, we could do a bunch of these ones. How about, man, I'm spinning my wheels on which way I want to take this.
I said you go first.
Real simple. Let's go with just the bogus bullshit you're putting on your social media that everyone who sees you in real life goes, that ain't you.
Everyone who works in fitness says that. Most normal people might not say anything, but they work out very quickly if it's right or not. Yep. Yeah, you put whatever you want on your social media. Like, for the most part, I don't actually care because it doesn't affect me, because I don't buy your bullshit. I probably don't even follow you, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I have a real problem with personal trainers being affiliated and sponsored by certain companies because they get a kickback when the potential product or whatever they're promoting isn't actually ideal for the person they're promoting it to.
Sure.
Like, selling something for the sake of sales and meeting a bottom line rather than, is this good for my client or whatever. That's my biggest issue. I'm not like, if we want to get fandangled about it, I could literally tear almost all of them to shreds. And I have a very, very basic understanding of a lot of internal dialogue and the way chemistry and stuff works. There's people far smarter than me that would make me cry in, like, just humility. I will be able to tear almost 90% of them to shreds with the shit they're marketing because they don't even know what's in it or what it does or how it helps. 100%. That's the position of influence we have with people. They take our word as gospel. And most of us as trainers exploit that either for discounts that we get on stuff, for free stuff that we get, or for the fact that we get more likes on a page.
And you know what? And that to me is part and parcel of it, where it's, if I say that I'm sponsored, if I'm promoting a product, like, I'm not just saying, "Oh man, here's a protein I like," or whatever. I'm saying, yeah, the ones where, hey, use my code, get this, do this, blah blah blah, because they're trying to generate a revenue, trying to generate income from it. But like you said, if you were to question them on the product and its actual benefit to their client base, would they even know about it?
Like, if I promote anything on social media and I don't actually promote specific things on my posts, I might do something on a story in terms of, here's a problem, here's what I've used. I will literally show what the product is, show why I think it's good with all the stuff that it's got in it. And you can definitely get that stuff separate. Tell them where I got it, which is always like a third party online thing. I have no affiliation. They get no code. They get no link. They just get told where I got it and what it is. And if they want to go get it, they can find it themselves. Like,
it's not a sponsored post.
Yeah. Like, look, it probably bites us a bit harder because we work in it and because we see it all the time. Whereas for most people, they see it, it won't affect them that much because it's, to them, they're kind of none wiser. Just have a certain level of really honest transparency with your social stuff, as much as you can possibly have. Some people are just organically more popular on these platforms than others. Like, some people, you ask them why they got so popular, they can't actually tell you. Yeah. But they've got a really good position of influence that can sometimes exploit for the sake of cash because people see their influences and they throw money at them. I get it. Money makes the world go around.
Sure.
It's just, the social thing's never going to go away. It's only going to get more. Just try and be as ethical as possible. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can say. Just be ethical, be transparent, know who the product is good for, know who it isn't for. Please don't be afraid to turn people away, because the more you turn away, the more I know you'll get back in return for being genuine. Just use your position of influence, if you have a lot of followers, for the good rather than the bad. Please, because I try my best not to have my social media turn negative in terms of like calling people out, because I don't want to do that. No one ever remembers the bad guy in that sense. They only remember positivity.
Yep.
So I'd like to be positive. But the amount of girls, especially that I see that have high influential positions on social media, and the stuff that they say that has no quantifiable logic behind it, just makes me not even surprised that we're in a position that we're in, because trainers want to be like them and normal people want to look like them. So everyone like gives them money and they all follow their example. It's just a very weird world.
Well, and it's something that I've spoken to people in my circle and probably even mentioned on the show. What we've found is that obviously in the last 5 to 10 years of this stuff really blowing up is, unfortunately, the people that are making the most noise and have jumped on board this to get the biggest influence early, in most cases don't have much substance or real content behind them, but they're making they got no shame and they're out there making the noise.
I know one girl who has close to 500,000 followers, and she is amazing. She is lovely. She's great. She gained it by accident. She's a really down-to-earth girl.
Sure.
Every other person I know that has like 6K, like, six-figure followers, like 100,000, 150, 200,000.
Yep.
They're just dicks. Like, I know one guy who's got like 150,000 who promotes all this stuff. He's the biggest sponge. He stinks, tries to get everything for free, tries to bum lifts off people. Like, bloke's a sponge.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, perception is everything. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, though. I'll say this really quickly.
Sorry, go on.
If you work in a commercial gym and you're using social media to try and build your client base, you're doing it wrong. Because your gym base is in the gym.
Yeah.
It's not online. Like, stop trying to bring people into the gym. You've got a whole gym member base to target them.
And you know what? Use the social media to document your journey. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to manufacture shit. You don't have to make it up. Just if you're going to use it so people can share your journey. Because how cool is it going to be in 3 years' time, 2 years' time, 5, 10 years' time? You can go back and go, fuck, that's where I started. And if anyone doesn't believe the path I've taken, look, it's right there, rather than this manufactured bullshit. Imagine looking back in 5 years' time and try to explain to your kids or your business partner or your clients that you rented a car and got a dodgy fake Rolex to look like you were balling, and then everyone knew at the time you were rolling in a Datsun, or you had your mates picking you up. Now, we've had people come to the gym and go, hey, listen, man, I've got 100,000 followers. What can you do on a membership? Can I get a freebie? I said, yeah, as long as those 100,000 live between Broadbeach and Burleigh.
Yeah.
They're not from Broadbeach to Burleigh, man. They're all over the world, and that's great for you, but that didn't do shit for me. So, no, we're not going to give you free membership based on that. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
What we do need is we need the people out there. So if you're listening and you're one of these folks, pay attention. If you've got content, if you're a legitimate person and you're doing things for the right reasons, and the only reason you're not on social media is because you feel like a goose or you probably don't feel comfortable in front of the camera, you can do one of two things. You can still do you, and that's cool. Some people aren't comfortable and don't want to be there, but it's really tough for you to be able to sit back and then say what they're doing is shit. Or you can say, well, you know what, I'm going to try and share a positive message. I'm going to try and share some legitimate content out there, and hopefully the right people start listening, and you can do it organically and authentically, I believe.
Probably very well put. It's social, it's a hard one to kind of get your head around, because it is a very manufactured world, but just do it to the best of your ability. Be as nice as you are about it, be genuine, be transparent, like you just said, and then you can only hopefully bring good things for you.
Well, it's like share because you want to share it, because you feel like what you're trying to share is worthwhile other people hearing about, or just because you enjoy doing it. Definitely, if your motivation, just like PT, just like a lot of other industries, if your motivation is to get famous, you're probably in it for the wrong game. If the motivation is to make a shit ton of money off posting photos and videos, cool, it may happen. You're probably in it for the wrong reasons. And eventually that'll show, and someone who's in it for the right reasons and somehow, or not somehow, but eventually builds the same following as you, you're dead in the water.
There's no personal trainers or coaches I know worth the grain of salt who are using social media in that way.
In which way? In the authentic way, you mean?
No, in the transparency, like, I'm going to do this for more likes way. They might have a lot of followers,
yes,
but they're transparent how they go about it.
Exactly right. They've got followers because they're legit. Yeah, is that what you're saying? The ones that are doing the right way?
Yeah, the ones like, yeah, they're not, they put stuff on social media to document who they are and the transparency and all of that.
Yep.
And they were probably more well known previously and have followers as a result of that, rather than manufacturing all these positions and photos or whatever to try to gain the following, to try to come across as credible. They were credible first.
Correct.
And then they got the following.
I got you. Yeah. Like, for example, I look at, I've referenced him in other episodes as well. One of the most blue collar, down to earth, now world famous strength coaches and PTs out there was Joe DeFranco. You know what I mean? Like, you will never see a post that he's done that's designed or intention is to get likes or get followers from. But I don't even know what he's at these days, but whatever. He's making a killing. He's impacting lives. He's producing ridiculous level athletes, and he's living the life he likes. So he's just sharing that journey more so these days than he did back in the day, which is fantastic. For those of you that do get some influence from social media guys, Gary Vaynerchuk, love him or hate him, he's very big on the document, don't create. I love that line. I think it's pretty spot on. There's a great episode. I can't remember the number. I'll try and chuck it up on the notes afterwards, but it's an Andy Frisella one on how to dominate with social media, and spoiler alert, it's got nothing to do with the right photo filters or poses or quotes. It's pretty much about being a fucking legit individual and sharing your journey and trying to impact people in a positive way rather than trying to feather your own nest, so to speak.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's a bit of a chat on social media. Okay. So again, it always seems to tie back to our theme, doesn't it, of D-Bash. Don't be a shit human.
Yeah.
What else we got on this one, dude? I mean, we've covered common sense with regards to personal hygiene, your appearance, what you wear, how you carry yourself, the way you communicate, on the job as well as off the job, interaction with members. I mean, there's something. I've had people in the past go ahead.
Just take stock of the way you currently do things. We could always do them better in every aspect. Neither of us are perfect. Trust me. Yeah. We still leave shit out accidentally. There's definitely people in my gym who think I'm an asshole. I can guarantee it. But you're always putting effort into to be the most professional trainer you can be, to be perceived as the most professional trainer you can be, even if those perceptions don't turn to dollars. Yep,
I agree, 100%. And you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Not everyone's going to resonate or be attracted to the way you are and stuff. But at least if you're doing it right, they're not going to be sitting there going, fuck that guy. They might just go, it's just not my style. But they can't question your presentation, your professionalism.
Very true. And I think that's all I have on it. Like, you be transparent, you be professional to the best of your knowledge. You don't wear shit that says "leave me alone" on it.
Yep.
You don't try and be like the next coming of Ronnie Coleman, and I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah, I think you nailed it right from the start. This is the kind of shit. I don't know. Did we say this or we say this in the pre-show? This is the kind of shit your mum and dad taught you when you were a kid. Now that you're an adult, put it into play. Use your manners. Be courteous. Be aware of everyone around you. Not saying forget about you, but just be aware of what you're doing and how that affects other people, and also what other people doing around you might be affecting you. One of the biggest turnoffs I've had in my time on the gym floor is overhearing PTs rubbish clients, members, or even other PTs on the gym floor within earshot of other people. That's turning up wearing 3-week-old fucking t-shirts.
Yeah, that's smart. That just doesn't play out the way you think it does.
Mm.
When you gossip about other people and stuff like that, eventually things just don't work for you. Like, no one wants to be with you for that bitter all the time.
It's just that negative shit you're throwing out there. If it's not today, if it's not tomorrow, it's coming. It'll come back. Yeah.
And you might think that people are like interactive with it, and they're involving themselves. More often than not, they're just saying to be polite, and they just think you're a wanker anyway. Yeah. So they're just gonna leave it. Like, eventually you're just gonna be left on your own. Like, no one's gonna want to talk to you if the only things coming out of your mouth are negative about other people, and everyone else has got a problem and you're perfect.
And that's not saying you need to like everybody in the world. I hate lots of people. I'm an arsehole when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, how you respond to that. Like, you know, you don't have to get along with everyone. That the person over there that clangs the machine every fucking time he does a rep, yeah, that's annoying. If you don't have the capacity or courage or whatever you want to call it to go and go, "Oi, dude, let me show you something," so it doesn't have to bang, then you just got to cop it sweet. But you don't have to be saying to the person next to you anything about, "Man, that guy's annoying. Look at the noise he's making." But as you said, it doesn't bring you any positivity.
It doesn't at all. Like,
keep some shit to yourself.
Like, guys, if you listen to this episode going, I know all this, I know all this, I know all this, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. But
Good.
if you pick up one thing you can start to do better, we've done our jobs and we're good.
Yep.
And we can get back to the actual content, not this baby shit next time.
Exactly. I think it's just one of those things that we figured, right, well, we've got this content, we've got step-by-step stuff coming out, but again, hang on a minute, if they're not doing this stuff right, then we're fucking wasting your time listening to this shit because you're not gonna put into play properly anyways. So it's probably a timely episode number 10 to sit back and go, basically, if you're doing the things we're talking about, you pretty much fucked it up anyway. So Control, Alt, Delete, check yourself, have a look in the mirror, like literally and figuratively, check yourself out and go, is it me? All right, cool. Here's some changes to make. Be aware of what's going on around you and have some self-awareness. And don't be afraid to sit there and go, like, literally, whether it is like, fuck, I stink today, I better do something about it, or there's just something about me. For whatever reason, I'm emitting some sort of negativity. I've got to figure this shit out. Otherwise, my business is never going to prosper. You won't have any friends either.
Yeah, very true. Done.
Right. I think that's about it for us. Again, guys, we'll get this episode up. YouTube obviously gets up a lot faster for us at the moment while we're playing catch up on the iTunes account. If you're hearing this, if you're paying attention, get in touch, reach out, give us some feedback. For the guys that have been, man, we really appreciate it.
We need reviews. We need more reviews, please.
Reviews, comments, shares. Reach out to us. Tell us we suck. We don't, but you know, if you feel you have to, let us know.
I don't care if you think I suck. I don't really care.
We're talking anyway. Roger
They'll
that.
keep coming. All right, guys.
Sweet guys. We'll see you next week, and episode 11 come at you with something fresh.